Spartans! What is your profession?
Yes, people, another edition of Knightz the Roundtable discussion where we discuss all sports all the time. Got my guys, The Truth and Two with me. How are you doing, people?
Very good. A little special, a little cramming session, like.
Yeah, all good, bruv. Yeah, man. Let's get it cracking. Let's jump into it.
Yeah, it's true. Before we do, because we got lots to get into, as usual, people, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You're gonna want to for this one. All you Chelsea fans, this one is for you as we start it off. And then after, we're gonna nip over to the other side. We're gonna go over to the UFC and talk about what happened in UFC 257. But we are gonna start. It's a special breaking news today. The Fulham Broadway Neil Warnock has been sacked.
Oh no. No. Oh no. No.
Fat Frank is gone from Chelsea, 18 months in the job, and Roman said that he has had enough. We're gonna go straight over to Two because that is like, people, if you don't know, you need to go back and watch what happened a couple of weeks ago on the podcast with this guy Two and what he did. But Two, you've got your wish. You hollered at the man them, and Fat Frank has finally been sacked by Chelsea Football Club. What are your thoughts, bro?
Bruv, listen. I'm so happy, bro. I don't get a lot of shit right, but I got this one right, bro.
Just before you carry on here, I'm not gonna lie. As much as me and Tooth disagree, I have to give him his props because even before 2 weeks ago, Tooth called it that Frank would have lost his job in December, and it was all in a WhatsApp group discussing it. Tooth said, that Abramovich was going to get that act, start sharpening it in November, and by December he'd be gone. A month later, just a few weeks out, but you got it right. You got it on the money.
Yeah, he called it from the beginning of the season, bruv. He said that this guy doesn't deserve the job and he should be out. But it's finally happened to you. What are your thoughts, man? Give us the lowdown and what you said to Roman when you made that call, bruv.
Yeah, bruv. It was one time for the one time only, bruv. I had Roman on speed dial. Putin joined the call. And you know what I mean? It was that was it, bruv. That was all she wrote, bruv. They got in touch with the KGB man them. And that's it, bruv. Nova chucked his ass the fuck out of Chelsea, bruv. Do you know what I mean, bruv? Like fucking Litvinenko'd him, bruv. You get me? Gave him some of that poison gas. But yeah, bruv, I'm glad he's gone. I called it from day. I've said this from day dot, bruv, and it's in the other podcast where I said, like, man, fuck all this nepotism shit, bruv. All this, I'm not down with it, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's cack. This guy shouldn't be. He done a decent job last season, fair dues, props, but you're only as good as your last sell. Do you know what I mean? And we're not living through rose-tinted glasses and shit like that, bruv. With the team that he has and the talent that he has and the money that they spent, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need a proper manager, bruv. You need an Allegri. You need a Tuchel. You need someone like with like a CV, bruv. Do you know what I mean? This guy done fuck all that Derby. He got a fluky season last season. And now do you know what I mean? Now he's out here trying to get the sympathy vote. Like, get the fuck out of here, bruv. And I'm so glad it happened to an English manager as well, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Because everyone's quick to jump on the bandwagon about foreign managers and this and that. And like, good, bruv. They Brexited a fucking English manager, bruv. So I'm happy. And bruv, is onwards and upwards from here for Chelsea, bruv. It's onwards and upwards from here for Chelsea, because I'm telling you, the talent that they have, we don't even need to get into that. Like the ZX, the Werners, the Havertz, the Pulisic. Do you know what I mean? These guys are ballers. They might have not proved anything yet, but they're ballers. They're some of the top talents in Europe. Chelsea managed to get them all in one team, and they're flopping hard. So it can't be them. It's for so long you can point the finger at the players, and then you have to start looking internally and being like, yo, there's something wrong here. And he was winging it, bruv. You talk about Ole winging it. Do you know what I mean? Come on, how are we going to look at Chelsea's football and say like, yeah, there was some deep tactics there? Do you know what I mean? There was nothing there, bruv. They were winging it. So yeah, I'm so happy he's gone, bruv. And I as much as I'm not a Chelsea fan, I don't like Chelsea, but it's one of those things where I don't know about you, man, because you, man, support Arsenal and United, so they're bitter rivals. I understand that. But there's a part of me that wants to see a decent squad of players do good. Do you know what I mean? And fulfill their potential. So that's what I'm hoping to see out of Chelsea moving forward. I'm hoping they bring... Who are they planning to bring in? What's the talk on that front?
Well, the plan is Tuchel should be in by Wednesday. So they're looking to announce that by Wednesday for the Wolves game, and then he'll carry on. I think they're going to give him 2-year contract or something like that to try and sort things out. So that's what basically is 99% done. It's just a case of announcing it.
Bro, I'm happy with that. I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I'm happy with that. At least Tuchel's managed a Borussia Dortmund team. And he brought through mad talent through that team, and he held a certain standard that Klopp held after Klopp left. Do you know what I mean? And as much as people like to say, "Oh, Bundesliga's a farmers' league," and man, get the fuck out of here, bruv. Their team won the World Cup before the last one. Do you know what I mean? Fuck that. Last year, it was a German team that won the Champions League. So I don't know what all this farmers' league and all this shit is about. Like, my man has proven do you know what I mean? He's legit. He's got tactics. And then furthermore, even last year's Champions League, he got Paris Saint-Germain through to the final. As much as people like to say, yeah, Paris Saint-Germain are a checkbook team, whatever, bruv, they had Emery, and Emery couldn't do shit. So, do you get what I mean? To each his own.
I hear that. Truth, I know you got a different view on Fat Frank. Just give us it from your perspective. How do you think?
Absolute travesty, guys. Absolute travesty. So it's a mockery of the system. Absolute mockery of the system. Look, as much as what Tooth said is correct in terms of the style of football and his inexperience, he is correct in saying that. I'm not gonna hide from that. But Chelsea knew that hiring him. They knew that hiring him. It's not like they didn't know. It's not like they were doing something else. They knew Lampard had relatively next to no experience. They knew it was going to take some time. The problem is, when you know this, why hire him in the first place just to sack him 18 months later? It does not make there's no point of doing that. To me, there's no point of doing that. Give him a year's contract then, or give him an interim manager's contract. Tell him to see us through last season, which he did, which I thought earned him enough time. And then, hire someone with more experience for this year. Don't give him all that money to spend. Don't say that we're trying to do a new project, we're trying to build, we're trying to change the culture at Chelsea. And then in the space of a few months, go back to square one. I think that's totally ridiculous. And yes, he was struggling. The lack of experience was starting to tell, and he was having a bad time at the moment. But what I don't like about it is that this culture of sacking managers is breeding terrible football. The European model of the whole manager thing is breeding horrible football. The reason why I say that is because new managers come in and they have to get results in the first 6 months. And what is the most easiest type of football to play? Counter-attacking football. Sit deep, counter-attack. That's why 99.9% of the teams do that. Ole come in, counter-attack. Klopp kind of changes football to, a bit counter-attack, a bit of high press, but still essentially it's counter-attacking football. Arteta counter-attacking. 99%, apart from Man City, tell me one team in the Premier League that doesn't do counter-attacking football. Majority of them do.
Leeds,
yeah, okay, fine. But Bielsa's a maverick in
boy.
himself.
He's a bad boy.
Yeah, he's a maverick in himself. He's a leader himself. So yeah, so all of the teams, even across Europe, it's about counter-attack. It's rare to find teams that want to actually get hold of the ball nowadays. Even Barcelona, they're trying to play counter-attacking football, and the mighty Barcelona trying to play counter-attacking football now, under Koeman. But the reason is because we're sacking managers so quickly that they don't have time to build. Getting ballers to buy into a system and play to a system requires time. It does require time. It doesn't require 6 months, not even a year, even 2 years. It requires a lot of time to build that system into those players. And I feel he was very unlucky to be sacked so soon. I thought he would have given to the end of the season. 2 years, it would have been enough time to be like, okay, what have you done? Sacking him, a few months into his second season after he did well last year just seems, it's ridiculous to me. Absolutely ridiculous.
Now, look, because you man tried to get me involved, like to say I was part of the reason why this man was sacked.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I was gonna say, look, one of the reasons why he got sacked is the two people here, TJ and for calling for his head.
Listen.
And then Roman went on YouTube. He saw this video. He said, "That's it. He needs to go." Here we are, and fans are a huge issue as well. We have to take blame as a fan base in getting rid of these managers.
Listen, if we have to take blame, Ole wouldn't be managing right now, innit? Like, honestly.
Hey, listen. I'm not taking no blame. I'm taking full fucking credit. I'm taking all the credit. Listen, Roman needs to cut me a check for that advice, bro. You get me? I saved Chelsea. I single-handedly saved Chelsea.
Oh man, if only Cooking with Rash was here to hear you say that, but he'll say it. But listen, from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I said he needs to go had nothing to do with Frank Lampard and what he was doing. I would have given him till the end of the season personally. My argument was based off Roman and what he does and how he operates the club, right?
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, why is it that Fat Frank gets special treatment when all these other managers before him, right, were getting sacked left, right, and centre, and they all did better. Even AVB did better than him. Let me get that quote. Let me get Fat Frank's quote, yeah, because I want to put this in here. Because I'm just like, you see when Karma's a bitch, yeah? You see when Karma's a bitch, yeah? Where is it? Mr. KA sent it to the group. And man said, this is what Frank said about Villas-Boas when he left. The players had no part in his dismissal. And they did, right? Because they down-tooled.
Yeah.
He played his cards and they didn't work. Maybe he was too young and maybe the job was too soon for him. That's Fat Frank. That's what's happened to Fat Frank now. Bro, I'm not here for it, innit? Like, everyone says, look at what he did at Derby. Derby finished 6th, right? Yeah. And what did they get to the the playoff final? Or was it the semis?
They got playoffs. I think it was semis.
No, it was the final.
It was the final.
They got final?
Yeah, and he lost that, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Then he had to come in. Now, the whole reason why, we all know why Fat Frank got the job at Chelsea, had a transfer ban. They weren't going to bring in any top managers. Yeah. And Frank Lampard was there, right? So they said, you know what? Here it is. Here's your work experience. Come in and do a thing. Now, there was no expectation of Fat Frank at Chelsea because it was like, we can't spend no money. We're basically working with some experienced players and some kids, right? And he pulled up trees and he got them Champions League football when no one expected him to do it. Now, halfway through the season, you could have said, well, yeah, they kind of did. But at the beginning of the season, people were saying Chelsea are going to finish 7th, 8th outside of Europe. And he got 4th. Credit to him. He did it. And he did it with kids as well.
Yeah.
This season, you've got money. over 200 million pounds spent, yeah, on Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, and a goalkeeper that you picked. That there's been talk that people are coming out and saying he didn't want Werner and he didn't want Havertz. If he didn't want them, cool, fair enough. But the goalkeeper is the one that you picked in it, and he hasn't done no better than the other one that you picked. That the other one that he didn't pick, but the other one before him. So that's on you in it. My whole thing is when you get that sort of money spent, especially at Chelsea, right? You ain't got time to be trying to bed players in and trying to, please, sir, give me some more. You ain't got that because Roman is ruthless with it. He's about winning now. That's always how he's operated. Man chopped the manager that bought them their first trophy in how many years and did a double. He chopped him. When Ancelotti was there, he did the double the first season, finished behind us the next, chopped him. Rafa got them a Europa League, chopped him. Di Matteo got him a Champions League, chopped him. So all these managers got him top 4 and a Europa League, chopped him. Even, do you know what I mean? So all these things, and he's chopping, man. So the fact that Frank did nothing, got to an FA Cup final and lost. Had he gotten the FA Cup, he might have gotten a little bit more time because it's like a little bit of silverware. I think it's a little bit of silverware. A little bit of silverware.
I don't think he would have.
You know what I mean? But he didn't do it, even though they should have beaten you lot in that final. And then you're going into the season, and the thing for me is it's not even the fact that the players haven't bedded in yet. Some players need time. Some players hit the ground running. We know that. My whole thing was, the most damning thing was, there was no style of play. There was no system for the players to buy into. That was the first damning thing. The second damning thing is, which we're all hearing about now, is the fact that he had lost the dressing room ages ago. Right, and a lot of it was apparently to do with his ego. He was walking around like he was the shit, which is fair enough. Chelsea legend, cool, but you're a manager now. You're no longer a player. That mentality has to change. You haven't done anything as a manager to be walking around like you're the dog's bollocks. Jose does that, and Jose gets sacked wherever he goes. So why do you think you can do that? Do you know what I mean? So when you put all those things together, and at the fact that they're ninth in the league, and they're losing left, right, and centre, struggled against a 10-man of Fulham as well, barely beat Luton on Sunday. When you put all those things together, I'm not surprised. He should have went sooner personally, based on how Roman carries on. Roman gave him time because any other managers wouldn't get that time. So all these pundits coming out because Fat Frank's English and he's related to them and blah, 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 coming in and saying, he needed more time and it's a travesty and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. You lot weren't saying that. You lot weren't going to these things when it was Potch at Tottenham, when he got them overachieving for however long. You weren't saying that then, innit? When Sarri was going to get sacked for Sarri ball, but you got your Champions League football and Europa League, Fat Frank ain't done that yet. You weren't saying that. So have the same energy for Fat Frank. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there because what I hate is like, don't pick and choose, innit? Like, don't be wrong. There's going to be some people you like, some people you don't like. But when you're in that profession in the media, you can't be seen to be choosing sides. And too many of these pundits are choosing sides because they want Fat Frank to walk into another job where he can win something, or B, they're trying to warm a seat for him in the Sky Sports or the BT studios, bruv. Man's gonna be playing with the computers, bruv. Like he's playing Tetris when he's putting all those things together, bruv. That's what he's gonna be doing. That's where he needs to be doing punditry. He's not a manager, bro.
As I said, I fully hear what you guys are saying in terms of his inadequacies when it comes to management. I've got nothing against that, and I totally 100% agree. What I disagree with is the system. I don't like the way the system is. It's not good for football. It's not good for young managers. It's not good for me as an aspiring manager. It's not a system that I feel that I want to go into because it's starting to get brutal. Because as I said, it's become now or never. And this now or never thing, regardless of the situation, isn't good. I know. Let's say Tuchel comes in. Let's say Chelsea do not get any better because it can happen. What is Tuchel gone at the end of the season?
I wouldn't say that purely because Fat Frank got 18 months. irrespective of whether he only spent the money in 6 months. You got 18 months.
I'm not gonna.
And he bought four.
I'm not gonna.
He
I'm not
bought
gonna
4
cut
players
first
in.
year,
So
though.
the rest of the team was still there with him from the beginning. Do you know what I mean? So if he would have had, even with them, if he had the fundamentals in place, right? So then they could like Klopp, for example. I know Klopp's had way more experience. I get that. But for example, when Jota came in, brother's just like, oh, this is the system. This is how we play. You know what I mean? At least if you could walk into a system and a style of play, maybe you could get somewhere. But with Fat Frank, you can't do that. So these players, the Werners, the Ziyech's, Werner Ziyech and Havertz, especially because they're used to the high press and the high lines that are being played and whatnot. Like, if they had something like that to walk into, I personally think they do better, especially Ziyech. But it's not for everybody. But sorry, carry on.
No, yeah. Well, as we said, Lampard's thing is their flaws are there for everybody to see, and we said it in the group. We knew that he would struggle because Ziyech, Werner, Havertz, Pulisic to a degree. These guys are used to Thiago Silva. These guys are used to managers that are playing triangles, squares, rectangles, pentagons, overlapping, underlapping, going through the entire list of, crossfield, high press, low press, half block, low block, halfway line press, halfway line drop. These managers are doing all that stuff. And then you got Lampard that's probably saying, go out there and show me some energy, guys. And thingy.
Just run around like you were in the school playground.
That's what it looks like.
You got Lampard out there saying, pass the ball to Mason Mount.
Exactly.
Wait, hold on, sorry. Before we carry on, can you, man, believe the disrespect that Mason Mount was captain in that game? Like, how much more do you want to say? Bruv, I'm telling you, man, the child support this woman's getting for Mason Mount, bruv. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, she's taking it. Man got the captain's armband. Next time, man's going to be telling him he's got to be captain for England, bruv. Take that armband off Harry Kane and them things there, bruv. I'm telling you, Mason Mount's quivering right now, bruv. Because he knows he's not kicking a ball. Oi, guarantee you, 2 years' time, you're going to see Mason Mount playing for Plymouth Argyle, bruv. That's what you're gonna see Mason Mount do, bro.
Lamp's flow is there for everybody, and I've got no reason. And the reason I don't count his first year is because that was a freebie. That year was a given. Regardless, he was gonna get the old year. Even if Chelsea finished outside the top 4, even if they finished in the bottom half, he was gonna stay. So I'm counting just this season. And I said the system is wrong. And then Abramovich. They came out, Chelsea came out and said, we're trying a new direction. We're going to give our manager time. We're going to give a manager time. And he did get probably too many players in and too many high-class players in and probably players that don't really fit him because, as I just mentioned, these players are used to top-class managers. So when they're coming in there, it's like me, I'm topping my class in maths. And then next year they go put me into freaking set 6 with all the guys that can't even do 1 plus 1 and that.
All the dunces, bro.
Exactly, all the dunces and that, and that's why it must feel like them. They're flipping there, learning some basic stuff, being like, wait, I know how to pass the ball. Show me how to freaking work as a team. That kind of stuff. You got Mason Mount.
Fat Frank's got them in there trying to learn how to win penalties and that, bro. Because that's what he did for his career, just bare penalties.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you go there, regardless of how it's going, you commit to that. We have committed to that at Arsenal. Regardless, Edu has said it, and I believe them. No matter how it's going with Arteta, they're gonna commit to that. It's going to stay like that, regardless of what happens. And I agree with it. We at this moment in time, Arteta wants to build something. He wants to build our style of play. He wants to. It's too easy to just become a counter-attacking team. It's the easiest style of football to play. You don't have to do much. Like, yes, players, let's be aggressive. Let's defend when we get the ball. Everyone up quickly, attack, counter-attack, bro. But Ole does it in his sleep. He doesn't even give team talks no more.
He doesn't, bro. Listen, he doesn't give a team talk in the first place, bro. He just says to the players. He just says to the players, go out there and play how you was playing for all your previous clubs, bro. Go out there like he was playing for Juve and Sporting Lisbon and Leicester, bro. That's what he goes and tells them players, bro.
Literally, that's what I'm saying. So what I wanted is for Lampard to be given that time and see where you are at the end of the season. Stick to your word, because now we're gonna just keep on digressing now. Every time Chelsea do something, it becomes the norm in the Premier League, especially when it comes to managers. Higher end sacking, it's gonna go back up now. You know, if Chelsea were to come out and be like, yeah, we're backing Lampard, we're gonna stick with you, then a lot of clubs have been like, you know what, let's stick with them. It's not going well. Let's stick with them. But now with Chelsea gone back to the sacking thing, everyone's just gonna go back to the sacking thing, and then it's not good for football for me, man.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. You want to give managers time to try and implement their style and try and go forward. I hear all that, but Fat Frank weren't showing me nothing in it, bruv. He was just, bruv, he just made Sarri ball worse. That's what Fat Frank, bro. He just made Sarri ball worse, bruv.
Yeah, I hear that.
Like, don't be wrong. Listen, hey, as a rival fan, yeah, as much as I was saying Fat Frank needs to go because of the model that Romans brought in, I would have happily kept him, bro. Like Chelsea were looking like they were getting relegated under Fat Frank right now, bro. They're going to be battling with Sheffield United and them man there if Fat Frank would have carried on. So that doesn't bother me. Just on the final point, Tuchel, I know you were kind of talked about him before. What do you, especially people have come out and tried to brush off the fact that it's not because he's German that he's being brought into Chelsea, but when we know that's part of the reason why he's being brought in. What do you think? Tuchel, because like when you look at the Chelsea team, yeah, like point for example, you got friggin' Chilwell, you got Reece James, you got Kante, who Fat Frank typed. I don't know what Fat Frank did to him, bruv. Man's looking like a wounded antelope under Fat Frank, bruv. You got Pulisic, you got Hudson-Odoi, you got Werner, you got Havertz, you got Ziyech, you got Giroud, right? When you got Kovacic. Like, when you have this sort of talent, what can Tuchel do? We know that Tuchel can't save Mount and Tammy Abraham because they're dog shit. But in terms of them other players, yeah, what do you think Tuchel can do? And can he get Chelsea back up to at least trying to challenge City and Liverpool again?
Yeah, bruv. There's a lot of Nazi jokes I want to throw in right now. You know,
we're not trying to get cancelled, bro.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. Like you set it up, bro. You set it up for me to just come in there with some bare Nazi jokes, bro. But yeah, I'm not gonna go down that road, bro. But yeah, I do think he's gonna change the attitude at Chelsea. Bro, this guy managed Mbappe, Neymar, some big egos at Paris, do you know what I mean? And despite them clashing heads and despite the expectations the board has in Paris, he's still, do you know what I mean? Like, he's still got them to a Champions League final. We're not going to count League Un and anything, even though in my books, it's still silverware, it's still honours. But, you know, that title is already given to Paris before the season even starts. So I'm not going to lean too much into that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to change the attitude at Chelsea. People forget, again, this guy has got football IQ. He did manage Borussia Dortmund. He did learn shit off Klopp. He has applied the shit he has learned off the back of managing Borussia Dortmund. He took that to Paris. He got them to the Champions League final. Whatever people want to say, he's definitely a better manager than Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard, I've said this before, Frank is not even a pubic hair on Tuchel's nutsack, bro. So, yeah, especially when you got players that come from like, you know what I mean, like prestigious academies that know how to play football, that have high IQs, like the Ziyechs, like the Havertz, like the Werners, especially those three players that I just pointed out who come from European academies where, you know, like you said, they go into training. They're not trying to learn how to fucking pass a ball or kick a ball. They're trying to go out there and implement killer tactics. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to be samurais and ninjas and shit. Go out there and fucking tear teams a new arsehole because they've got ability. They've proven that. They've been proving that shit since 10 years old. Do you know what I mean? This ain't no Mason Mount business out here. Like, how old are you? You're still trying to learn how to fucking pass and run. Like, Tuchel's going to make a drastic impact. And if Klopp is a measuring stick for anything to go by, do you know what I mean? It took Klopp some time to figure out his system at Liverpool. It took Klopp some time to finally get Liverpool winning shit, but the signs there were early. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the difference.
Do you know what I mean? The signs there were early, so we'll be able to tell if Tuchel can live up to the hype, which I think he can.
But does he have time? Does he have time? I would love Tuchel to be given the time, but does he have time? Roman is what Roman taught me, that he doesn't have he's brutal. He don't care about style of play. He just wants those trophies. If Tuchel is getting top 4 but not winning trophies, how long does he last?
Well, as much as Tuchel, you know, we give him credit for all this shit. Bro, at the same time, Roman is a businessman. Like, he can't just keep flushing money down the toilet. He's just spent 200 mil plus to bring all these players in. Yeah. Fat Frank was an experiment, as you said. They were like, yeah, we're going to change our ways and we're going to try something new. That shit flopped. You get me? He's going to give Tuchel some time. Unless Tuchel gets fucking relegated with Chelsea. I don't see, do you know what I mean? I don't see how a Roman's not going to give him a full season. Do you get what I mean?
Even if he finishes outside top 4?
Huh?
Even if he finishes outside the top 4?
I think so. But I think Chelsea finishing inside the top 4 is, at this stage, is either a distant wet dream or it's it's just unlikely. So I think personally,
it's not unlikely. They could finish only 1 point outside. The 1 point, TJ.
But
what's that?
But when you look at numbers on a piece of paper, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
But in terms of gelling a team,
I know, in form and turning around, I get.
Yeah, bro, it's gonna take, when you've got Ole and you've got Man City and you've got Liverpool and you've got Leicester, who've got all their systems on lock now. Do you get what I mean? But they're just having injury problems or a bad run of games or fatigue or, you know, whatever it may be. They're not focused. It's not like Tuchel coming into an environment where he has to learn like everything about the players, including what cars they drive and what their pet dog's name is. And do you know what I mean? Learning who the fucking security guards are and who serves dinner at the canteen. Like, he's got to go. We're starting from scratch here. So 1 point mathematically on paper is nothing. But when you put it in context and look at all the shit that he's going to be facing, they're not going to be hitting top 4. If anything, I think they're going to be putting all their eggs in a basket where it's got to be a cup. You know what I mean? Whatever cup they're still in, that's what they're going to be focusing on. And they can look at they need that confidence right now. Do you know what I mean? And if one thing we know about Abramovich, you said it at the beginning, is that all he cares about is silverware. That's it. He doesn't care about anything else. It's just silverware. Get me silverware, no matter what it is, I'm happy. And that method has proven successful till now. As much as we may disagree with Chelsea's philosophy, like from the day they signed Mourinho, it's been a revolving door of managers, but it's been silverware upon silverware.
Yeah, it's 100%. You're 100% right there. 100% right. Truth. Any thoughts on Tuchel? What do you think is going to happen there?
It's a hard one because for me, with Tuchel, the jury is out. He was okay at Dortmund without putting up trees. You know, he's done a decent job. It was a hard task to follow Klopp. He stabilized Dortmund because they were going for a rocky time toward the end of Klopp's reign. So he did stabilize them. I think he just won one German cup. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was just one German cup that he won in that time. But the Munich juggernaut was, up and running then. So I can't really blame him for that. Going to PSG now. Was he successful? As successful as any other manager. I mean, his one shining light was that he did get to the Champions League final last year. Although for me, that was more so down to luck with the whole COVID, the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, because they should have went out to Atalanta.
Yeah, they should have went out to Atalanta, I thought. But you know, they done the job. They done the job. They got to the final. I thought they should have won the final. Once you're there, you have to. I thought they should have given a little bit more in that final that they could have. So you know, he hasn't really put a foot wrong. He hasn't really pulled up trees. So the jury's out on someone like him to come into a job like Chelsea. For me, it's a wait and see thing. Yeah, it's a wait and see thing. What I will say though, in terms of, I think Tooth alluded to this, and this is the one thing I'll say. Frank getting the job after a season at Derby. You look at Gerrard at Rangers. You look at Rooney just got the job at Derby. I think, you know, we need to start looking, and this is a football thing, we need to start looking at why are these, I think I'm going to go there, why are these British white managers able to easily waltz in to these jobs without even
proving anything,
without doing anything.
Bro,
you've got people like
Rooney ain't even got his coaching badges, bruv.
Rooney just finished football.
Man, he's just finished football and he's already got a job at Derby, bruv.
Yeah, it's mad.
Do you think like the likes of like Theo Walcott or them man there, like I'm talking about British guys, like mixed race guys, can walk into jobs like that? No chance in hell.
It's a battle for us black managers. Yeah, we have to go through not even League Two. We have to go to freaking semi-pro. We have to go through the National League. We probably need to go to Kazakhstan or Liberia in their third division, come back, and then we might even get a job in League Two. That's about it. You know, you think Sol Campbell, Paul Ince flopped that thing. That's the end of his career. Houghton, hard to get back to where he was at. He did a great job at Brighton.
He got a great job at Brighton. He kept them
up. Amazing job.
Remember, they did him dirty. I think they did him dirty at Newcastle as well.
Very dirty, very dirty.
Tooth will know that.
Yeah, but apparently the rumor was Alan Pardew owed a gambling debt to Mike Ashley, so they got rid of Chris Hughton.
I'm telling Nick Powell, all these guys, they have to go through hell and high water. You know, and I've been there. I'm in the system. You know, I'm in the system. It's a hell. It's a hell to try to get to heaven. But these guys, your Frank Lampards, your Gerrards, your Rooneys, I'm
Gary
pretty
Neville.
sure. And Gary Neville got the Valencia job and doing nothing. I'm pretty sure if Harry Kane said that he wants to go into management now, they'll probably go give him a job at freaking Leicester or something.
Bro, they'll sack Mourinho. They'll sack Mourinho and let Harry Kane manage Tottenham, bro.
I'm telling you, like, these guys could just waltz into these jobs, and I think it has to be taken a good look at. It really does have to be taken a good look at, because, you know, some people say it's unfair on Lampard, but given the whole situation,
you should have never been in the job in the first place.
Yeah, so
you should have never been in the job in the first place. So
yeah,
how is it unfair?
Yeah, basically that's it.
Did you man hear on Talk Sport or something? I don't know what it was, but they had Harry Redknapp, and this guy was bawling his eyes out.
Oh, that's because that's his nephew. That's why.
Did you hear that it was Redknapp that got him the job at Derby because he was boys with the...
Bruv, listen, these guys get brought in from... Bruv, this is why they say in football, yeah, when you want to get to a certain level, it's who you know, bruv. It's who you know, and if your face fits. That's what it is, bruv. I mean, and that's not even football, that's life. That's life for us right now, bruv. If your face fits, you get there. But we know people that look like us, bro... Like, it's either one of the things. Either they need to fill their quota, or you're that much of a bad man at your job that's why they hire you. Apart from that, we're not getting hired by nobody.
That's why I'm glad I know people at the FA, boy. I'm trying to bribe my way to the top. Forget hard work, man. I'm bribing my way to the top.
You said this, man. Even if you are such a bad man at what you do. Even if you are the creme de la creme, the elite of the elite, bruv, do you know the jealousy you have to fucking...
Yeah, bruv.
Bruv, it's Shawshank Redemption, bruv. You know the final scene in Shawshank Redemption when my man's crawling through shit, bruv.
Yeah.
That's what it's like, bruv. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to flush you out, bruv. So
Bruv, I'm
I
telling
hear
you,
that
bro.
fully, bruv.
Trust me. It's hard
Yeah,
out
man.
here. But
I
yeah,
know.
we're gonna
I
save
said
that
this.
talk
I
for.
said this from day, bruv. I said this from day, bruv. Fuck nepotism, bruv. You know what I mean?
I hear that, bro. I hear that.
I want all the Chelsea fans to thank me in the comment section. I saved it up.
Yes, Chelsea fans, you heard it from Tooth. He wants to thank for saving Chelsea, bro. He's saying he's your messiah for getting rid of Fat Frank. But that is it for the Fat Frank talk. We had to go into it because it was breaking news. It was a big story, and we had to say something. We couldn't get Cooking with Rash on because he's probably crying somewhere, who knows where. But to all you Chelsea fans, let us know what you think. Was it right? Was it wrong? And that's to any fans as well, but specifically Chelsea fans, because I think the majority of Chelsea fans didn't want him to go, but there was a few that was calling for his head and basically saw sense and said, yeah, let's get rid of him. But thank you to my guys, Tooth and the Truth, for that one. We are going to be back very, very shortly because we've got to get the UFC 257 review show. You're going to see us back to back. So we'll be back very soon.